sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the exit.
Happy Tuesday, television family. We have returned with vim and vigor for another edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 5th day of December, 2024. Whoa, 2023. What do you think so far? I'm Dan Kuntz. It is 34 degrees. It is raining here in the Wenatchee Valley. It was raining lightly for most of the early morning hours. We get up early. You know that by now. Started picking up in intensity about 20 minutes ago, so it's coming down. We're going to have intermittent rain off and on throughout the course of the day today. Lots of clouds, lots of fog, very mild, lower 40s. We only hit 35 officially at Pangbourne Memorial Airport. That's where they measure these things, Pangbourne. You got to measure them someplace, I suppose. We only got to 35. Felt a little warmer than that. Yesterday at this time, I had a couple of inches of snow on the front yard of my house. And today I don't have any. It's gone, and we're going to have continued snow melt. Mild temperatures, and then maybe another snowflake or two this weekend. We'll have the forecast because we know it's important to everybody, as is the news. In sports, well, as you probably know by now, Jared Kelnick, Marco Gonzalez, and others no longer a part of the Seattle Mariners. The winter meetings are underway. There'll be a lot of roster moves going on. And the Seattle Kraken, 0 for 4 on their road trip. We'll have that in sports. And in the interview section, the back half of this program, you've already saw the interview I did with Mindy Wall, the director of the Leavenworth Village Voices, their series of Christmas in the Mountains concerts. They already had the first one last Saturday. They still got 2 more to go, one on December 10th, and then a very special show with special guest Bozea, and that will be on December 16th at the Snowy Owl Theater. So we had a chance to talk to Galena and preview that show. It's a very interesting marriage of the traditional Leavenworth Village Voices and what Galena Bozea does with her great music. Great interview. Don't miss that in the back half of the program. Let's go. Let's do our tour. Even though we're going to see what we can see, keep in mind the sun does not come up for another half an hour or so, but there is the Wenatchee Valley, 7:32 sunrise this morning, 4:11 sunset tonight. Going to lose about 30 seconds of daylight from what we had yesterday, 8 hours and 39 minutes. As far as rainfall is concerned, again, measured up at Pangbourne, yesterday in the valley we had 0.11 inches of rain, a little over 1/10 of an inch of rain. Kind of felt like we had more. Omak only had 0.2 of an inch of rain. They didn't have much at all. Moses Lake led the way. They had over 1/10 of an inch of rain. They had 0.13 inches of rain in Moses Lake. And again, it's going to be mild and wet for the next couple of days. We still have that flood watch. That continues until tomorrow night at 11. Next up on our views, that I'm told is Nanapoc Ridge. I guess you can kind of make it out, the Lake Wenatchee area out there somewhere. Again, not much. Lake Wenatchee, you're going to get another 1.5 inches of rain. They had a lot of rain yesterday. And it's all about elevation. Right now, Stampede Pass, at the summit of Stampede Pass, it's 47 degrees. It's 49 in Spokane. It's 34 here in Wenatchee. The higher up you go, the warmer it is. Let's see what the Rock Island camera looks like. Well, it looks out of focus. This camera brought to you by your local optometrist. There's the Rock Island camera looking out towards the mountain. Got low clouds and fog hanging down there. Kind of a gray morning. But Chelan might be looking pretty good. The Lower Butte camera, is that available? Ooh, that's cool. Now that is new. And I'm not talking about the camera. It's been there for a bunch of years. But those clouds that are hovering over the lake, when we went through the cameras to what we were going to use about 10 minutes ago, those clouds weren't there. And now they have rolled in. This is the Lower Butte camera. That's the highway going in and out of Chelan at the bottom of your screen. That's basically up above Slide Waters. But wow, what a view there. Good morning to Lake Chelan. This slide is going to look similar to the one we showed you yesterday. It's actually an updated slide, but things haven't really changed. It's going to be mild and wet weather. It's a flood watch. I don't think we're going to get a great deal. I think maybe some minor flooding issues in some locations that are prone to flooding. It's going to be more snow melt than rain, but it's still going to rain lightly most of the day today. Other places are going to see more snow melt. I mean, some places like Leavenworth and Lake Wenatchee got over 1 foot of snow, and they are going to be well above freezing for the next few days, so it's going to be kind of gloppy out there. And then a cold front sweeps through. It'll start happening overnight Wednesday into Thursday. That brings the end of the rain. It's also going to usher in some cooler temperatures. Now, a lot cooler, but cooler, and the possibility of some light snow in some locations over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Whether it'll stick around or not, we don't know. But we are going to cool down after what we're going to see temperatures pretty much above normal across the board for the next 3 days, actually right on into Friday before we really start cooling down. From the National Weather Service, rain, clouds, fog, high of 41. Our normal high this time of year is 36, so it's going to be above normal. Look at the overnight low tonight. Very mild, continuing rain, continued fog, continued clouds, 40 for the overnight low. Up to 43 with clouds and rain on Wednesday. Going to start drying out Wednesday night into Thursday. Still the occasional raindrop, but temperatures very mild. And then the cool down really begins as we get to Friday. That says 33. We're actually, I think, going to be considerably warmer than that. I think that's a typo. We don't know. But it is going to be cooler anyway on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday are going to be hovering right around the freezing mark with maybe some snow. Snow level is going to hover right around 1,100 to 1,200 feet when we get to the weekend. So it all depends on where you live. That is your forecast. It's 6 minutes after the hour. After a break, the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Hi, this is Kelly, owner of the Original Children's Shop in downtown Wenatchee. We strive to bring you the most quality, fashionable, and fun clothing for your little ones, along with gifts, toys, and accessories. I look forward to meeting you soon at the Original Children's Shop.
Ladies, come fill out your wish list at Collins Fashions. Collins is decked out in red and green and full of cheer. Amazing gifts abound among the sparkly sweaters and beautiful Brighton designs. Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee, where Santa shops for fun and fashion.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
Hey folks, Lehman here with Crown Furniture and Mattress. Folks, there's no question if you're looking for top quality furniture and mattresses, Crown Furniture and Mattress is the place for you. Whether it's Flex Steel's patented blue steel spring, Englander's 120 years of innovation, or Stan's incredible comfort. Folks, we have it all. So stop by and see us today at 736 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Cloudy, foggy, rainy, 34 degrees. Cloudy, foggy, rainy all day. Lower 40s for the overnight low tonight. It's going to be mild. Continued rain and a flood watch until Wednesday. We dry out Thursday, cool down. By the weekend, it's 9 minutes after the hour. Grant County is not immune from a lawsuit regarding the death of an inmate that was held at the Grant County Jail back in 2018. 34-year-old Derek Batten was in the Grant County Jail on DUI and traffic warrants when he died from an overdose of heroin that was brought in by another inmate. When his family sued in 2021, saying the jail was negligent in failing to intercept the drug, the county argued that it can't be sued because Batten died in the course of committing a felony. But a Grant County judge turned down that defense, and last week the State Court of Appeals agreed, saying that the jail had a special responsibility to keep Batten and all of its inmates from suffering avoidable harm. No trial date in the lawsuit has yet been scheduled. Badger Mountain Brewing took to Facebook on Sunday announcing that they are done and going to be closing their doors permanently on January 1st. The Wenatchee Brewery attributed the decision to the impact from the pandemic, plus inflation, a decline in sales over the last 3 years, and a highly competitive market. The business will be offering half-off merchandise, kegs, growler fills, and glassware. And they encourage customers, if you have a gift card, to use it, because it won't be good after they close. The local brewery, which first opened 10 years ago, said it's grateful for the memories made over the last decade. A new unknown infectious canine respiratory disease. It's on the rise nationwide. Now there are 16 confirmed cases in our state. Of the 16 reported cases, only two, one in Snohomish County and one in Clark County, has so far been confirmed with what the Washington State Department of Agriculture is calling an atypical canine infectious respiratory disease complex. Now, no cases have yet been reported in our area, but pet owners should be on the lookout for coughing, sneezing, hacking, loss of appetite, and contact the vet should your pet display any of those symptoms. Well, we had the first snowfall of the year over the weekend, and that was a friendly reminder that emergency responders were out and about responding to accidents over the weekend, and cars spinning into ditches and so forth. Some of those experts were gathered for the NCW Toy Drive on Saturday. Wenatchee Valley firefighter Donnie Etherington says it's a good reminder to slow down when the roads get slick.
I would just caution everybody to slow down, drive slower than you think you need to, and increase your following distance. This time of year with the snowfall and just with it getting cold in general, you know, we see a large uptick in car wrecks and a large uptick in fires as well, just because people are turning their heaters on. But yeah, back to the snowfall piece, just take it slow. You don't need to be in a rush to get anywhere.
And of course, when you see flashing lights and hear sirens behind you, it is the law. You are supposed to pull over and give emergency vehicles the right of way. Paul Blakeney is with Lifeline Ambulance, and he said people didn't do that a couple times over the weekend.
I was on the way to a lunch, and there was an ambulance coming down Wenatchee Avenue, and the car in front of me pulled over probably about 30 seconds before the ambulance came. Everyone followed suit. We moved over, and one individual chose not to, and the ambulance was coming at us. I probably shouldn't have done this, but I honked my horn pretty hard at this guy, because how would you like it if you, your grandmother, your father were in the back of that ambulance and the ambulance has to slow down to ensure they're safe for the public? So move over, slow down, get out of their way. It could be someone you love in the back of that ambulance that needs that help.
And finally, a couple of weeks ago, the outgoing mayor of the city of Wenatchee, Frank Kuntz, came in and did an interview with their very own Jefferson Robbins, kind of an exit interview. That entire interview, by the way, can be seen on our website. Of course, as you probably know by now, he's also my older brother. And Jefferson came up with this idea. He said, why don't the two of you interview each other, but the questions that you'll be asking each other will be supplied by our staff, and you'll be reading the questions off the card for the first time. So that was Jefferson's idea. So this is me interviewing my brother and my brother interviewing me, reading questions that we're reading for the first time on camera, supplied by our crack news team. You want to go first, Frankie?
I'll go first.
Okay, here we go.
All right, Dan, here we go. First question. Which of us has committed the most crimes?
Me.
Yeah, that's an easy question.
That's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer. What did Dad always say? Ooh, this is a good one.
Boy, I had a lot of.
He had a lot of sayings.
Yeah. I don't know. You got to think about that for a minute. What comes to your mind?
Middle of the field.
Yeah.
When we were roughhousing.
Yeah. But Mom said that too a lot.
That's
too.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. That was Mom, middle of the field.
I thought Dad said that too. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they both said it.
If you could
swap places with me for a week.
If you could swap places with me for a week.
Jordan must have written that one because I can't read that.
What is the first thing you would do as me? What would you do as mayor or as me?
Probably have Steve Crown run the license plates on people I don't like.
Ah, got it. That's a good idea. Yeah.
That's what I do. Chief wouldn't do it, but I'd ask him anyway.
You'd ask him anyway, yeah.
Which of us caused more damage to our childhood home?
I don't remember how many golf balls we broke windows with.
I broke at least one.
But You broke it from the outside. I broke one from the inside out.
That's right, you
In
did.
the living room. I was chipping and got hold of
So that would be you.
Yeah. So
Because it's
I broke
understandable if I'm hitting a golf ball outside and I strike a building, as opposed
that's
to
okay. Yeah.
hitting a golf ball inside.
Yeah.
That was good.
I don't know any other damage that
I don't
I
either.
probably did, but
I didn't set fire to the house. BJ did.
BJ
so.
set fire to the house. Yeah. So I think, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's probably it. Yeah. Breaking windows with golf balls.
Whose turn is it?
It's mine. Which of us is more famous?
I don't know. You get recognized. I get recognized. I was in media for a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to
I don't
that.
think. I think it's about pretty close.
Probably pretty close.
About even.
Yeah.
So.
I hear more people say I've met with your goofy brother today, and I have to ask which one.
Right, and I do the same thing.
Yeah, and they say you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I say, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
What's the worst prank you've played on each other? Ooh.
I don't know if there's any good pranks. Dan, back in the day when we would play outside, if he didn't like what was going on, he'd throw the ball on the roof.
If I was losing.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a bad loser.
Yeah, so lots of times, whatever football we were playing ended up on the roof of the flat house.
You took me out on my 21st birthday, and you said we weren't going to go drinking.
And how did that go?
I puked on a cop car, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. What food was most often served for dinner at our house?
Not very good.
So what was your birthday dinner? When it was your birthday, Mom said anything you wanted.
Yours was always tuna fish casserole.
Tuna casserole.
Yeah, you loved it with the potato chips on top.
Yep.
I can't remember. I want to say spaghetti.
Okay.
On our birthdays, we got to have whatever we wanted for dinner. That's all. I think most families do that.
And I think the funny thing is when we had the big house, inside the walk-in, we had those 100-pound bags of potatoes.
Yep.
And every night for dinner was potatoes.
Yeah.
Baked potatoes, scallop potatoes, mashed potatoes, potato cakes, I think that was the cheapest way to feed 9 people.
Yeah, Mom knew how to make potatoes.
Yeah, so.
I love my mother. She was not a very good cook.
Yeah, we all ate a bunch of potatoes.
Yeah, we just ate a bunch of food. Which of us was Mom's favorite?
I was probably more of her favorite.
I would say you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember reading the family letters, and so our grandmother couldn't hear.
She was deaf.
And so my mom would write a weekly letter.
Right. That's how they
Grandma.
communicated.
That's
And
how
now
they-
we have an archive of it.
And now, when Grandma died, we got all the letters, and they're all archived. And so you can read when Danny was born and when I was born. And I think Mom wrote a letter and said, Frankie's really good at math.
Yeah.
Or something, like when I was in
It was
second
unique
grade or
that
something.
our
Yeah.
maternal grandmother was deaf because they couldn't talk on the phone. And so they communicated by letter, and we have them all.
Yeah.
So we have this family history that a lot of families don't have that. From when Mom was, about 7 or 8?
Yeah. Yep.
All the way until
Grandma
died.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
How many siblings do we actually have?
That's Jefferson wrote that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to answer that.
We have 8. There's 9 kids, so I have 8 brothers and sisters. And
then
I
3
believe
stepsisters.
3 stepsisters.
So I consider us 12.
Yeah, absolutely.
6 and 6.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Who was the first mayor candidate you voted for? I was a registered voter in '82, so I would say Jim Lynch. Absolutely, it would be Jim
I'm
Lynch.
guessing it was probably Jim Lynch.
Because he was 77, 81, 85, 89, right? And then he lost to Earl in '93.
I don't know where you lived, but we were in the county for the long time.
That's
so
right.
We didn't even get to vote for.
Well, no, by '93, I was in the city. In '89, I was in the city, so it had to have been Jim.
I was never in the city.
That's right.
So the big house wasn't in the city.
Until you bought it.
Right? And then I annexed it in, so that would have been the first. So I probably voted for Dennis Johnson.
Yeah, because you lived on the east side.
And in the county, out in Harbell and those other places. So I'm guessing Dennis Johnson was my first vote for mayor.
Wow, I wish Jim was still alive. I'd have to tell him that I voted for him before you did.
Yeah, so I got to tell you this funny story. So Ruta Jones, I don't know if you knew Ruta. Ruta passed away recently, and she worked for the city for 40 years. And so I had a going away party. I talked to Ruta, and she got up and said a few things. She goes, well, I want you to know that you're my second favorite mayor. And I said, perfect. Who's your first? Jim Lynch. He hired me. And I said, good choice. He's my favorite mayor, too. So I tell that story a lot. So that's my cute Ruta story.
Our final story for me is how I call Frankie, Frankie, and he calls me Danny, Danny when he was at UW, and he came back. Of course, once you go to college, you don't go to the dentist anymore. Mom still makes that happen.
Yeah.
And you were back from on Christmas break.
Yep.
And I was either a junior or senior in high school, and Mom said, got to go see Bob Euler, got to get your checkups at the dentist. And we went together, and we're in the dentist office in the waiting room waiting to get called in. And they had your file, which went all the way back to God knows where,
Yep.
to 4 or 5 years old.
Yep.
She comes out with the file thing, and his name's on Frankie Kuntz.
Yeah.
Frankie Kuntz.
Yeah, that's right,
It's your turn.
Yeah.
And we laughed so hard.
Yeah.
And from that time
Little Frankie
forward,
Kuntz, yeah.
he's Frankie and I'm Danny.
Yep.
And this concludes the interrogation. Probably more than not my family than you needed to hear, but thanks, Jefferson. Revenge is a dish best served cold. That's the news. On this Tuesday, we'll have the news for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10 on television. If that doesn't work for you and you prefer to ingest your news, if you will, via the World Wide Web, by golly, it'll be up and running on our website, the Nightly News with Grant and Eric, also on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. And if there's something out there that you think is newsworthy, you get a hold of us by sending us an email, news@ncwlife.com. The Hot Stove League, the winter meetings are underway as we speak, and a few longtime Mariners are no longer Mariners. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. Sports at 22 minutes after the hour, the Mariners continue to make roster moves, significant roster moves. Of course, as you know by now, Eugenio Suarez is already gone. He's in Arizona now. Say goodbye to Jared Kelenic, Marco Gonzalez, and Evan White. They were traded to Atlanta. What did we get in return? Pitchers Jackson Kowar and Cole Phillips and some dough. Manager Scott Servais says it's about trying to make this year's team better. And to do so, sometimes you got to get rid of young players who have potential.
This time of year, there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes. Everybody's trying to figure out ways to make their team better. But anytime you trade away players, and you know, with us moving on from Jared and Marco and Evan, it's been tough. You know, you build relationships with players over time. And sometimes, you know, players just need a fresh start in other places. And you know, certainly with Jared, you know, kind of seeing, you know, his evolution as a major league player, and you know, the season he had last year when I thought he really kind of turned the corner. Well, everybody's different. Just the maturation process of some players already just hit the ground running. Other guys, they're going to stub their toe. They failures. They come back and forth. Everybody's a little bit different there. So in a perfect world, would have been easy for Jared. Yeah, everybody wants it to be easy. You just hit the ground running and take off at the big league level, but that's not realistic. I do think there is a lot of good baseball ahead of him. Very productive. The talent, the skills, they're all still there, and he's young. He's very young in his career, so certainly we've got a really good core of players, got good young pitching, center fielder, shortstop, catcher, first base. I mean, we've got really good players. We need to add to that, and hopefully we can continue to work this offseason and add to our core. I think we need a couple bats. And guys that maybe have history of or could hit in the middle of your lineup. You know, guys are going to be productive, drive in runs, do all those other things. I love our pitching. Defensively, we've been very consistent in how we catch the ball and prevent runs, and I expect that will continue, but you got to score too. Leadership is huge amongst our players. I will say I think our group understands you know, what our standard is, and they all buy into that. And I think once they clearly understand, now other guys can step up and lead. Everybody wants to see things happen right away, but it's a process. You got to, you know, work through things with other teams and free agents and whatnot, and that's what we're doing right now.
More moves expected. The winter meetings just began. We shall see. Seattle Kraken finished a 4-game road trip without winning a game on the 4-game road trip, 4-2 the final. Canadians over the Kraken. The Canadians building a 3-0 lead. Jared McCann got Seattle on the board, but by that time it was too little too late.
Up with it. Back for Larson. Larson gives it off for Dunn. Dunn to McCann. Waiting. Shoots. Scores! Jared McCann puts it home after a shift that's just under 3 minutes long for the Canadians, and Seattle's on the board. In on the wing, taken to the boards. Beniers for Dunn. He'll fire. Montembeau the save. Tolvanen on it. Back to Dunn. Shoots. Scores! Vince Dunn rips it home under the bar. It's in and out in a hurry, and a power play goal has the Kraken within one. It's blocked by Belmar. Dvorak chases it down, plays it back in the net for Gallagher in front. Chance right off Pearson. 2 whacks on it. Grubauer the save. Hands it off for Matheson. Up the wing, Caulfield tipped it out. Suzuki has Lepkowski going to the net. Suzuki shoots. Grubauer the save. Rebound. Flipped it back in front of it off Grubauer. Couldn't bank it off him. Caulfield, good stick to break it up. Schultz forced back inside his own line. Up ahead for McCann. Tips it in off the boards. Everly fires. Montembeau squeezes it and holds on. Trying to pressure him. Now it's Everly. Looks to center. It goes off his skate. Tolvanen to Dunn. Shooting. Montembeau the save. Rebound. Puck still loose. And it's picked up by Josh Anderson. He'll put it down the ice. And he scores!
And the Montreal Canadiens with a big win. And, you know, again, I think Montembeau made some really good saves here in this one as well.
Kraken are probably happy to be back home, and they will be. Next up, the New Jersey Devils taking on Seattle. That'll be Thursday night at 7:30 on ESPN. All right, the college basketball schedule for tonight. In women's play, the 21st-ranked Washington State Cougars are at South Dakota State today, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The Washington women, they're at home. They'll be hosting Montana State at 5. In men's basketball, 7th-ranked Gonzaga is home. They got Arkansas Pine Bluff coming into town, 7 o'clock on ESPN+. The Washington men will host Montana State. That's following the women's game, obviously. That game, the men's game, will be on the Pac-12 network. Despite losing 3 straight to fall to 6-6, Pete Carroll says the Seahawks are a playoff team. That's Pete. Of course, Seattle continues their gauntlet of facing really tough opponents. This Sunday, they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. He says, Pete does, that the Seahawks will be battle-tested when the playoffs arrive.
We're of that caliber. We have to find our way through it and get there. I don't know that there's enough games. Maybe there isn't. Maybe we run out of games. I don't know. But we're going to have to make some big noise here in the next couple weeks, and then we got to just keep on going. We will be hardened. We will be competitively battlefield tested as well as you could be prepared. And I think all of that will add to it if we keep growing with it. If we keep taking the proper steps forward. That's the way I'm seeing it. And it's only one shot at a time. But a month from now, we will have been through everything that you could go through and get in preparation for a playoff opportunity. Now, whether we had enough wins, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes.
Seahawks and the Niners in Levi's Stadium. They'll kick it off a little after 1 o'clock on Fox on Sunday afternoon. A great week on the ice, capped off by a sterling weekend, has awarded Connor Geekie. He is the Western Hockey League Player of the Week. He scored 6 goals in 3 games over the weekend, including 4 against Portland in that incredible comeback. On Saturday for the week, Connor had a total of 13 points. The Wild have an 8-game winning streak, including 11 in a row at home. Wenatchee is on the road, by the way, at Tri-City Saturday and Spokane on Sunday. Prep schedule gets underway at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's right, the girls get out of school early. At least the Eastmont and Wenatchee bowling teams do. Sunnyside and Davis coming to Eastmont Lanes to take on the Wildcats and the Panthers, respectively. Moses Lake is on the road to take on Eisenhower in bowling. Girls basketball, a lot of games. Check out the schedule. There you go. It's Eastmont and Othello at 5:30. At 5:45, it'll be Chelan at Quincy in girls basketball. Cashmere's at Omak. And then at 6 o'clock, it's Lake Roosevelt at Elmira Cooley Hardline. Orville is at Antioch. Moses Lake Christian at Manson. Bridgeport at Cascade Christian. Pateros at Soap Lake at 6:15. And Walla Walla and Moses Lake will tip it off at 7 o'clock. That's the girls' schedule. Boys' schedule, kind of sort of similar. Eastmont and Othello, Wenatchee's at Ellensburg, Moses Lake at Walla Walla. Bit of a typo there. Hey, you know, it's early morning. Anyway, those are your high school boys games. And finally, wrestling. One match tonight, Battle of the Basin. Quincy and Ephrata will do battle in Ephrata at 7 o'clock on the mats. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 29 minutes after the hour for the obscure holiday, happy AFL-CIO Day. The American Federation of Labor and the Congress of Industrial Organizations. I don't know why today is the day. I went back and looked. They didn't merge on this date. They were competitors, and now they're together. But I also was able to find some fun facts about unions. Since they're a union and a big one, on average, union workers make about 12% more than non-union workers. I think most people knew that. So the average union worker earns about 12% more annual salary than a non-union worker. But check this out. African Americans, Latino, and women earn 30% more than the average African American, Latino, or woman who is not in a union. That's remarkable. Of course, union workers have more access to all kinds of things, paid sick days and health benefits and stuff like that. I think 96% of all union workers have employer-supplied health benefits, things like that. So I don't belong to a union. For one thing, you got to be qualified, and I'm not. It's 31 minutes after the hour. Today in history, say goodbye to the 18th Amendment, courtesy of the 21st Amendment. The 21st Amendment was ratified on the state in 1933. It repealed the 18th Amendment, which repealed alcohol. So prohibition done. December 5th, 1933. And this one was very quick. It was passed by Congress and sent off to the states for ratification in February of 1933. And by December 5th, it was all over. It only took 8 months from the time the Congress passed it on to the states to the time it was ratified. People wanted their booze back. And which state put us over the top to get to the 3/4 required to amend the Constitution? You're not going to believe it. It's going to be the last state you would ever think of. What state put us over the top to bring back booze? Utah. Like the driest state in the union. Thanks, Utah, I guess. That was 90 years ago today. We get inversion layers, of course, here in the Wenatchee Valley. We're used to them. Cold air trapped on the surface, warm air up above it, no place for the pollutants to go. We have air inversions. We had one, of course, not long ago. But air inversions in our area don't normally kill people. In London, starting on this date in 1952, they had an air inversion, extremely cold air trapped right above London, warm air up above it. There was no place for the pollutants to go. And of course, to heat your home in London and your factory and to create electricity in 1952 in London, they burned coal. There were two different types of coal. There was the good coal, which they didn't burn. The good coal they shipped off to other countries. Great Britain had to pay all their World War II debts. And so they did so by selling the high-quality, clean-burning coal, if there's such a thing, to countries who needed it. And to heat their homes and their offices and to create electricity, they burned really bad coal, which sent really bad pollutants up into the sky. And of course, almost all of London, electricity was generated by the burning of coal. All this dirty air went up, had no place to go. It lasted 4.5 days, and estimates between 10 to 20,000 London residents would die from the effects of the great smog of London that lasted 4.5 days. It began on this date in 1952. Blah. And speaking of England, 58 years ago today, the Beatles played their final concert in their hometown of Liverpool at the Empire Theatre in Liverpool. It only sat about 2,500 people. There were 40,000 ticket requests for the 2,500 available seats. That's a ticket, or a couple of tickets, and it was the last show the Beatles ever played in their hometown on this date in 1965. And birthdays. We always do presidents. Now there's mutton chops. I should grow those. Martin Van Buren, one of the more forgettable presidents, the 8th president of the United States, born on this date in 1782. Died in 1862 at the age of 79. He was the first president to be born an American. He was the 8th president. His 7 predecessors were all born before the American Revolution, so they were all born British subjects. So he was the first president to be born as an American citizen. English was his second language. Growing up, the family spoke Dutch. In fact, his parents never really learned to speak English. He didn't learn how to speak English until he was like in his early teens. And Martin Van Buren was one of the very first presidents to write his own autobiography. He wrote his own autobiography, and in his autobiography, he never mentions his wife, his children, or his presidency. So he left out his family and his profession. Must have been a hell of a read. Martin Van Buren, born in the state in 1782. Walt Disney was born in the state in 1901, the American media empire icon. When he was 16 years old, during the height of World War I, he quit school. He was a senior in high school to become an ambulance driver in Europe, only he had to be at least 17, so he forged his birth certificate, his own birth certificate. He forged it to make him a year younger, or a year older, so he could go off to war. Even though he was very wealthy and had cooks and servants and maids and gardeners, he always drove his kids to school every day. He was very proud of that. And Thelma Howard worked for Walt Disney's family for 30 years. She was the live-in housekeeper and cook. Thelma Howard was. And every Christmas, Walt Disney, as her Christmas bonus, gave Thelma Howard, their maid and cook, who lived with the Disneys, he gave her stock in the Walt Disney Company, which she did nothing with. She just sat on it. When Thelma Howard died in 1994, she had $10 million in stock in the Walt Disney Company, and in her will, she gave it all away. She gave half of it to poor children in the Los Angeles area and half of it to her disabled son so he could be cared for. That's pretty remarkable. Never touched it. Walt Disney, born in the state in 1901. A wop bop a loopa, a wop bam boom. Little Richard, rock and roll legend. We lost Little Richard a couple of years ago. He would have been 91 years old today. Keep a knocking, but you can't come in. I love Little Richard. Going to take a break. Mike McNally's got an opinion, but don't change the channel. And a special thanks to our friends at Alpine Air. Platinum sponsors. Platinum sponsors. That's like big. It was like copper, silver, gold, and platinum. Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. And in the interview, it's our friends with the Leavenworth Village Voices and their special guest for the concert on Saturday the 16th at the Snowy Owl Theater, Bozaya. A great interview and some musical numbers, too, because we like music. It's coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
This is my
Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, nothing I like better than some white person telling me that I'm a racist, okay? I once had a friend tell me who the only reason I didn't like President Obama was because he was black. Now, I knew there was no way I could explain to this person the reading I've done, the painful soul-searching I've gone through to try to recognize, admit, and address my prejudices. Soul-searching I still go through, honestly. I know this person wouldn't listen because I realize how much it is easier to point out someone else's perceived shortcomings than deal with your own. So what I said was the only thing I thought of at the time was that, well, I don't like Joe Biden either. This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty. We choose truth over facts. And that's my opinion.
Bob File Boats and Motors is your local Yamaha headquarters. For more than 30 years, Yamaha outboards have delivered far more than superior power, performance, and efficiency. Yamaha owners get something that can't be measured in horsepower or RPM. Legendary Yamaha reliability. Find the Yamaha outboard that fits your life at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
In today's environment, risk management assessment is a crucial process for your business. Risk assessment will identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards. Don't let risk impact your business income, reputation, operations, and your overall success. We can give you peace of mind by transferring your business risks to the insurance providers. Call Stacy at August Edge Insurance today to schedule a risk management assessment for your business.
Welcome back to the program. We are here at the stage of the Snowy Owl Theater. You want to make reservations for the 16th day of December right here at the Snowy Owl Theater at the campus of the Icicle Center for the Performing Arts. You know our good friend here, the great duo who performed a great show here. When was the show, Bozaya? It was in August, was that right? When was it?
Yeah. We have an amazing show on August 18.
Yeah.
It's sold out, a lot of people, very bright show. It's amazing, and I'm happy, people happy, and we have a lot of reviews about our shows. And please welcome for our next show. It's not just only show, it's Christmas show. You can listen in with us, and you can sing in with us. Amazing. Favorite beautiful Christmas songs.
Yeah, this is quite an interesting marriage. It's the Leavenworth Village Voices and this incredible pop duo, high energy, tradition. It's going to be a little bit of everything. Introduce your friend over there who kind of got this marriage together. Introduce your friend.
Yes, please. It's Nathan Cox, and he's just and как представляет?
Yeah, I'm here to represent the Leavenworth Village Voices.
Yes.
With which I've been singing for several years now.
And your backstory is pretty interesting. We were talking before we went on the air. How you worked your way here to the little hamlet of Leavenworth, and you're fluent in Russian, and now you have these really cool neighbors. Talk about that whole backstory.
Yeah, the pandemic hit. I was laid off in Seattle. We decided to move where we had some family. We had a grandpa who lived here, so we moved out to Leavenworth, which we love. And very randomly met Galina and Vadim when we were picking up a piano, and we're amazed to learn that there were other Russian speakers in this little town of Leavenworth. Became friends, learned that they were professional musicians, and decided to try out a partnership of sorts. So last year we had Basaya as our guest artist at one of our concerts, and this year we decided to go bigger and make a joint concert between Basaya and the Leavenworth Village.
And so whose idea was that? Was it kind of a mutual idea to put you two very diverse musical genres together on stage for one night only on the 16th? Whose idea was that?
That was Galina's idea. In fact, I think I remember when we had the idea, we were singing our concert at the downtown.
Yeah.
Downtown.
Yes.
The snow was falling. The lights were sparkling.
So
right. It was a
beautiful.
beautiful evening, and they joined us for that evening and sang a couple of songs. And afterwards, Galina was in heaven saying, "This is what I've dreamt of. This is beautiful. Let's do this next year, except let's make it bigger."
Yeah, I said if we try to do this amazing combination with classical styles and maybe pop styles, just do a little bit something new, different, something, I don't know, magic.
Yeah, something magical.
So I guess the first question you have to ask yourselves as you get together from a creative standpoint, the repertoire.
Yeah.
What songs are you going to do? Because the Leavenworth Village Voices are going to do their own concerts here as well on the 2nd and on the 10th, separate from the one that's going to be on the 16th. Right. So how did you guys decide from a creative standpoint, what songs are we going to do and how are we going to do it?
Yeah, it's true. Bosaya has its own repertoire and it's different. It's been described as indie pop.
It's just good, is what it is.
It's beautiful.
Good music
if you haven't heard Bosaya sing, if you haven't heard Galina sing, it's an extraordinary experience. And the Leavenworth Village of Voices has its kind of very traditional approach, right? Singing carols and classical music and what some people refer to as cocktail Christmas music. And we thought there has to be an audience out there who wants to see both, right? Who wants to have a little bit of a poppier experience, but with rolled in with some of that tradition. So we have our traditional carols. We have some medleys. We have some songs you've heard before but never heard it this way, arranged in ways that you've never heard before, and we'll be singing songs together as well.
Yes, very new songs, but it's Christmas songs. Everybody knows the songs. And Vadim, he sound produced, and he sound produced more modern the songs. It's just new production. We have new music. You can listen, everybody. And of course, we have amazing Christmas installation. It's video installation, yes. It's surprise. We have amazing decoration. We will have amazing, beautiful decoration, and people can just feel in this atmosphere here. Yeah.
It'll be a show you've never seen before in a place that is just as unique.
It's just, I think, first time we do this. Yeah.
First time, hopefully not the last.
Yeah. It is of course, for all family. For all families, for all people who love together. It's just so romantic, so beautiful, and for everybody who live here and live in Wenatchee and other cities in state Washington, please welcome. Because Christmas time, it's beautiful time in Leavenworth. I think the best time, Christmas time, is just in Leavenworth, absolutely, in Snowy Isle with us.
Does anybody in your organization have like a 4-octave range like she does?
Everyone in our organization envies Galina's voice. We have some beautiful voices in the Leavenworth Village Voices. Bosaya brings not only natural talent, but years and years of training and professional experience singing. The Leavenworth Village Voices, we have a diverse set of people who love to sing, but we're volunteers, right? She's a professional, and we are honored to be able to have this concert with her together.
But Village Voices, but Leavenworth Village Voices is so beautiful. You know, it's so it's singing, not voice, it's singing soul, them soul. It's so beautiful because, yeah, I know it's volunteers, but it's just amazing. You feeling this soul when you sing all together. And conductor Mindy.
Mindy, yeah.
Yeah, Mindy, conductor Mindy, she's doing magics, a lot of beautiful things with this choir, with us all together. She's helped us, and when we practice, it's really something special. And people can feel in our energy. They can feel in this is amazing light, and yeah.
Well, having watched the Village Voices perform Christmas before, and it's always spectacular. You're about 2 songs into it and everybody starts singing it. have you noticed that? Because everybody knows the words, and most Christmas songs are pretty easy to sing. Yeah. They don't wait till the end when everybody is supposed to sing together. People are doing it. They just find themselves singing right along.
I think there's a lot of, as you've mentioned, as Galina's mentioned, a lot of heart. People connect with what we're trying to do. They know that we're a community choir. They appreciate the effort that we put in all year to put together our Christmas concerts. for them. But it's the, you know, it's our way of caroling from door to door. It's just people come to us.
And it's there's a mistake, by the way. It says it's only $30 to get in on the 16th. That can't be right. You guys can charge twice that much and get away with it. This place only holds 200 people. You're gonna have 207 people in here. The fire marshal's gonna come and shut you down.
This is an amazing theater. If
it is.
You know, for those viewers who haven't been here yet, the acoustics are amazing. It makes you feel like you're right there. Every seat's a good seat.
Yeah.
It is December 16th. Again, this is Bozaya and the Leavenworth Village Voices. The Leavenworth Village Voices themselves are going to have separate concerts. We'll talk about it different. That is Saturday, December 16th, 7:30. $30 for adults, $25 for senior citizens, $15 for students. You can get them by going to the Icicle Center at the Performing Arts website. And don't procrastinate. Don't put it off. This show is going to sell out. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, you're going to do a song for us, right?
Yes, Dan. Thank you.
I can't wait. Musical entertainment when we come back. And it's not for me.
Come now, really sit with me. Be moved by these melodies. This place and space speaks of your time. Oh, standing energy. Oh, you have all of me. This imagery is so divine. Shining skies, revolving minds. You won't see how much they need it if the emptiness won't hide. In my eyes, here is a view. Paths to my sea, love is something real. Let me show you. Catch my smile, signals and tune. Paths to my sea, this is what I feel. Let me see you. Hey, I love you. Hey, I love you. Hey, I love you. Beautiful moon. Hey, I love you. Hey, I love you. Hey, I love you. Beautiful moon.
Lose yourself in the magic of the most wonderful time of the year at Cirque Dreams Holidays. This electrifying stage production has captured the imagination of audiences throughout the country. Delight in the holiday season as the world's finest circus artists perform alongside a cast of lovable holiday characters. Sprinkled with high-energy dance numbers and festive holiday music, it's the perfect gift for the entire family.
While it may be hard to resist those big brown eyes and pleading face, many people aren't aware that people food can be dangerous to pets. And it's not just because of the added weight gain. Some foods are downright dangerous, including chocolate. For a detailed list of dangerous foods, go online to pawsandclawsvh.com. If you suspect your pet has eaten something dangerous, please call Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff at 888-PAWS, as your pet's health is important to us.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
That's you over there.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Road, NCW Live Channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
Looks like we're still inundated with low clouds and fog. Light rain, still 34 degrees. Going to be right around 40 or so today. Warmer still for the next few days. And then things are going to, well, they're going to cool off quite a bit. But we still have that flood watch. That continues until tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. So we're still going to see some rain today. Going to see some rain overnight tonight. Rain most of the day Wednesday. Some residual rain on Thursday. And by Thursday afternoon, this atmospheric river, this Pineapple Express, we'll be rolling on out of here. Give you an idea of how some of the warm air has inundated our area. It is almost 50 degrees at the summit of Stevens Pass, and at midnight, so what, about 8 hours ago, it was 67 degrees in Portland. There are towns in Florida that didn't get to 67 degrees yesterday. That's some pretty warm, pretty moist air. But then things are going to cool down, and maybe even some snow this weekend. From the National Weather Service, one more look. Clouds, fog, rain, and we'll top off at about 41. Tonight, clouds, fog, rain, overnight low of about 40. Now on Wednesday, we're going to see some clouds and some fog and some rain. Going to mix it up a little bit with a high of 43. And then it's going to be rain, fog, and clouds on Wednesday night. A little bit cooler for the overnight low. One more day of rain on Thursday, and then sunshine on Friday. That'll be nice. It's been a while. Snow level Friday night's going to dip down to 1,400 feet. Could see some light snow Saturday morning and again on Sunday morning. And that's it for us. Have yourself a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The mysteries behind the season's twisted treat.
Then we travel to Michigan to visit what holds the bragging rights to the world's largest Christmas store.
This is where I need to be shopping.
Then we're off to a small town where the spirit of giving practically grows on trees. Welcome to Small Town Big